One of the toppest comebacks we have ever seen in SEC slash Texas A&M school program history. We just saw that comeback when I was walking outside. I took a 30-minute walking while I was listening to ESPN radio on TuneIn. I've seen it before on CBS Sports on my notification. It says trouble in Aggie land. Like, wait, what's going on? And I look at it, it was 30-3 South Carolina. It was hilarious. Until all of a sudden, when I'm seeing this, they came back down. It was 30-24. I turned the channel while I was watching the CW Sports College Football. Yeah, the cap I'm wearing right now, you can see on that little bill cap. Yeah. Because of college basketball, yeah, and we'll get to those games coming up later on tonight. I'll be ready for this, and then back and forth, UConn, Texas, and then the Arizona Fall League Championship game of MLB. Now, the article is right there, and here it is. Texas A&M pulls off biggest comeback in school history. And also, here it is. Marcel Reed threw for a career high 439 yards and 3 touchdowns, and number 3 Texas A&M rallied from a 27-point deficit to remain undefeated with a 31-30 victory over South Carolina on Saturday. We'll get to the breakdowns and the social media reactions in just a little bit, because I know a lot of you guys want to see it. Yeah, we'll look at it. It's the biggest comeback in school history, eclipsing a 21-point rally by a Johnny Manziel-led team in a 52-48 win. Yeah, I do remember that game. Yes, that game. When I was a junior, I was like 16 years old. I do remember that game because I remember it was a late night game and I had to go to bed. And yeah, this was in 2013 Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl over Duke. Yeah, that was Johnny Manziel's. If you guys do remember. Excuse me. Entering Saturday, teams were 0-286 in SEC Southeastern Conference play since 2004, with trailing by 27 points or more. Yeah, and we mentioned the history. You see, all these teams were down by 27 points. It was either 30-3 or something like that. And Texas A&M is the first. Reed bounced back from an awful first half in which he was intercepted twice and had a fumble return for a score to put the Aggies in a 30-3 hole, with a dazzling in the second half to keep Texas A&M 10-0, 7-0, 9-0, 6-0 until today, on track for its first trip to the college football playoff and SEC title game appearance. Not till they have a chance to face Texas, which they won't. Which they won't go all the way. Yeah, let's hope Texas can do it, but beat them. But let's worry about Georgia first. All right. Because right now I'm watching this game and they missed a field goal. Bama is still down by 3 against Oklahoma Sooners. This is going to help Texas. They win tonight. We can get a chance to go to the SEC Championship. Maybe. Because Alabama's have Auburn in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. The Aggies took the lead for the first time on a 4-yard run. E.J. Smith with about 11 minutes left. Yeah, because he ran that touchdown, and I was like, what a comeback. They just scored on that comeback. Texas A&M had a first down and at the one after that, but Jameron Murrow fumbled on the trick play. Yeah, I saw that, and it was like, why did he throw that ball on third and goal? I'm sorry, on first and goal. He just threw it on the other side. He could have run the ball and put this game away. I just don't understand. I do not get that. Yeah, and that Gamecocks recovered with about 3 minutes to go. Yeah, you seen that one. He was like, threw that ball away and just recovered the ball out of its own hands. That pass would have been incomplete, but instead it was a forward pass fumble. So that ball just literally cost it out of its own ways. Dalton Brooks and Cassius Howell sacked on Lenore Sellers. Could have been a Heisman, but not a chance. It's Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. Indiana is still undefeated, by the way. On a consecutive plays to bring up 4th and 16 with about 90 seconds to go. Sellers scrambled on 4th down, and he was stopped short of the first down marker to steal the victory. And that really took it nowhere to go. If you're Texas A&M, it was horrific that you were down to. South Carolina fans, it was horrific because right now the stats it just came through my mind because they're going to show the highlights. But let's look at the box score today, and you choked it, South Carolina. You choked it because Lenore Seller had only 1 pick and 2 touchdowns, 246 passing yards, and 8.2 average, and his quarterback ratings were 62.6. 50 out of 30. In comes Brian Rhodes Jr. He only threw 1 pass. It's not too bad. But Marcel Reed only threw 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, 439 passing yards, 79.9. And Isaiah Williams only threw a touchdown. That was a 27-yard long, but that 76-yard long is gotta be Ashton Bethel Roman, 139 and 4 receptions. So that's not too bad for that. But look at South Carolina. Nick Harper, 80-yard long on a touchdown. That's gotta be the best. But their defense right there will lead the third. Not spiral jar on base of Will Lee. I'm talking about Texas A&M. Solo 5 tackles, 1 sack, and on TFL, tackle fumble loss. But that fumble loss right there, Judge Collier and Brian Thomas Jr. only a sack allowed with Dylan Stewart and Dan Hayes. But the team had 4 sacks. But let's look at the stats leaders. Well, intercepted by Dalton Brooks and Bakari Swan. Only that turnovers were allowed, but let's look at their stats. So, Texas A&M only had 23 first downs over 15 South Carolina. They had 2 for 2 on 4th downs, 1 for 3 on South Carolina, 2 for 11, over 4 out of 15 on 3rd downs converted. Because Texas A&M had good offensive total yards. Well, their total offensive yards 503 over 388, but their passing gains were too good on all gaming systems. If you're an Aggie fan, then South Carolina, and then rushing. And then this one. But penalties, they were too wealthy. But turnovers, 4 turnovers allowed over 1. Fumble loss, pick thrown. South Carolina only have 1. And their stat, because look at their game stats on their leaders on today's game. Marcel Reed over Lenore Sellers. Better passing yards, rushing yards, Owens, and he carried off in the fourth, like around the 4th quarter, and he was hurt in the 4th quarter until that one. But it goes on. Sellers threw for 246 with 2 touchdowns with a pick, interception. For South Carolina, now because they've been eliminated from the bowl season contention, and also which lost his 5th straight games. And I'm going to tell you the highlights, and I don't need to show it to you. And this is what happens: 20-3, intercepted in the end zone. 66 seconds left. Lenore Sellers, and they're putting up right in the bag. 27-3 in the first half. It just ran all the way through the end zone, and nobody can catch South Carolina's passing plays. And he just hurt himself. But what happened is there's a state trooper. After that, he was relieved from his duties. So Rhodes from Black and White Sports 2 will get to that just a moment later on. That state trooper from Texas A&M was relieved his duties, and Texas A&M just scored a touchdown. Not quite done yet. In the fourth quarter, 10:50 to go, first and goal, and that came back down by 30-3, 27 points down the game. 4th and 16, we tell you, Lenore Sellers, and it was stop on turnovers on down. Texas A&M beats South Carolina 31-30, and Coach Elko largest comebacks in FBS this season. But Harper finished 102 receiving yards, but then Concepcion 158. Both of them have sacks. Thomas Jr. Hayes, Okoroko 9, and York 8. And we already told you about the whole 27 points down. We just told you that. Look at the stats. We told you about the numbers. 30-16 and 29-44 on time possession. Now, the conference standing looked like this. Alabama is trailing by 3. They lose today. This might help Texas put into the driver's seat to go to the SEC championship game, which it might happen if we need some help. Because we got Texas A&M the next 2 weeks. Because Texas A&M's got Samford next week, and then they got next on 2 weeks. We told you that, and now Texas tonight. We told you they got Georgia, and they're going to be facing Arkansas because Arkansas is 0-6 right now in the SEC. And they're 2-8. They're not doing that far wealthy. So there's that on the final score of today's game, and Rhodes will break it down on Black and White Sports 2 with the whole state trooper. Now, social media reaction on today's game. What happened is, and this reaction looks like this. South Carolina, yeah, and look at this. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And this one, you're talking about looking for a reason. He was trying to be the reason. And yeah, that state trooper from Texas A&M, he was relieved from his duty. So Rhodes will get to that on Black and White Sports. Sports too. Black and White Sports Football. If you guys want to subscribe to his channel, it's all college football and NFL, all that stuff. And look at this. Did cocky get too cocky? One score game in College Station. Texas A&M lead from being down. Yeah, we told you this whole story. And this is from Texas A&M Police. We are aware of the incident in the NE tunnel involving DPS trooper. He was he has been relieved of his game day assignment. Yeah, like I said, Rhodes is going to get to that on Black and White Sports Football. And this is the Texas DPS. The Texas Department of Public Safety is aware of the incident that occurred today during the Texas A&M football game. The DPS trooper involved was sent home from the game. Our office of Inspector General is also aware of the incident. We'll be further looking into the matter. No additional information will be released at this time. Yeah, they're trying to keep it quietly, so they don't need to worry about the whole thing. So that's the big problem. And then yes, South Carolina, you have officially, yeah, that 28-3. It's 30-3. You dang right, it just been there so many times. Like, how did that just happen? Oh, dear Lord. My God. And this reaction, man, South Carolina must be pissed on today's game. They're pissed as hell. Right there. And I'm weighing this before I sign off. Sellers sold hard. Yeah. Vegas says, not today. Def, Texas, and Lenore seller choking in big moments. Oh, this is crazy. Fire Beamer. Oh. Oh, dear Lord. Fire everyone in the coaching staff. Well, they just blew that 30-3 lead. What a banger. 33 South Carolina, Texas A&M have to come back 31-30. Glad to witness this game. I didn't expect this to come back, for them to come back. They were down big in the SEC and school program history. Still overrated, overhyped. They won't be number 3 at AP Pools or College Football Playoff. Losing to Texas in 2 weeks. Yeah, we're going to be ready for that. But we got to worry about Georgia first. That's not going to be an easy game, because tonight it's not. It's going to be sell the business about that. So, there's that. Ready for this hype just to lose in the playoff. Well, they gotta lose Texas after Stanford. I cannot wait. That's gonna come. That's gonna come real fast. Y'all looked bad, Texas A&M. My Longhorns are gonna beat y'all ass chokers. Like I said, we better wait until a couple of weeks when Texas beats them. When Texas beat them, oh, karma is coming. Karma's gonna come. At Austin, Texas, Black Friday. Yeah. It's coming, folks. It is coming faster enough. Oh, and look at this. 30-3. They were 97.8% chance to win this game on 3rd and 12. Oh my God. Until the biggest comeback in this one. Look at this. $97.2. Yeah. They had a chance to. They are in it until they just did. And there's the scoring place right there. If you want to pause that, look at this. Only the field goal, they just tied the game. And then the second quarter, it was all in the first half on South Carolina. The Texas A&M came back in the second half. Isaiah Williams, 27-yard pass from Marcel Reed. And then 39-yard pass from Marcel Reed. Ashton Bethel and Nate Bordiker, 14 yards in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, E.J. Smith ran for 4-yard touchdown. And that took 10 play. Yeah, 98 yards on the play. And what a comeback. What a comeback in College Station, Texas. Wow. Well, tell me, guys, on the comment section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and yeah, Texas just came back. Well, Texas A&M came back down 27, and they're the first one. 286 games afterwards. The Aggies were down big in SEC and school program history. Peace. I am out until the next time. And yeah, Texas better win tonight, because if they don't win tonight, our CIP run is over. We're still likely going to be in the bowl season. So tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out until the next time.